This pasta salad recipe creates a pesto-like sauce with a base of basil, edamame, and pistachios. It's lemony, refreshing, and it seems like a perfect fit for spring, or if you're in need of a side for a warm weather get-together. It works well with medium-sized pasta shapes like penne, cavatappi, or shells, and it comes together relatively quickly. To save on dishes, I did the next few steps in one pot, but if you want to save on time, you can put water on to boil in a large pot while you do a quick toast of the garlic we'll be using in a separate small pan. You'll leave the skins on 3 cloves of garlic like you see here and put them in a dry pan over medium heat. Let these toast for about 5 to 10 minutes until the skins get to be a dark brown or even a bit burned in areas. Give them a toss or quick stir every couple of minutes to prevent them from getting too blackened. As you see the skins get toasted, the insides will get just a bit browned along the edges and the garlic will begin to soften. I like to do this step so that the garlic in the final sauce doesn't have too much of a harsh bite to it. Once those are browned like this, you can remove them from the heat to cool off. If you're using one pan like I am here, you can now bring some water to a boil to cook off the edamame and pasta. First, you'll add the edamame and cook it for just 1 to 2 minutes. It doesn't need long, just enough to heat it through. Now you can use a slotted spoon or a sieve to remove the beans from the hot water, and then set them aside to cool off for a bit. Return the water to a boil, and cook off the pasta according to the package directions. While the pasta is cooking, we can make the sauce. A food processor or blender works well here. If you use a blender like I am, you'll just have to stop to scrape down the sides a few more times or use a tamper if your blender has that option. I've also made a rough version of this by just chopping up all of the ingredients with a knife on a cutting board. Whatever you have to work with is perfect. If you're blending or food processing, you'll add the cooled edamame along with a bunch of basil. I've used about 2 pretty well-packed cups worth of basil here. Make sure to give that a good rinse and then add it to the blender along with the peeled garlic cloves. You can see here that once you remove the skins, you're left with a nicely browned and somewhat softened clove. If there are any spots that are too dark for your liking, you can just scrape or brush that off, kind of like you see here, before adding them to the blender. And now you can add a 1/4 cup of oil, and then 3/4 cup of roasted pistachios, the zest and juice of 1 lemon, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, and then a pinch of salt. Now give everything a good blend. You can see here that it is quite thick. It won't even fall off the spoon when scooped up. I don't mind the larger pieces of pistachios and edamame that remain. Those will add some nice textural variety, but I do want to thin it out just a bit so that it coats the pasta easier. So I'll add about a 1/4 cup of water and give the mixture a few more pulses of the blender, just so that it incorporates. I'm not going to run the blender full speed until it's smooth. I do want to keep some of that texture. And then you'll end up with this nice light green mixture. It'll still be quite thick like you see here. I think that's perfect because it'll help add some creaminess to the pasta salad. You can scrape the mixture out into a large bowl and then add your cooked noodles and give everything a good stir. At this point you can taste it and see if it needs a bit more salt or a bit more lemon. I added the zest and juice of 1 additional lemon to bring out the brightness just a bit. This pasta salad makes a great side for spring and summer get-togethers, and the edamame gives it a nice additional protein boost, making it an equally good option as a main that you could make ahead for lunch or for a warm weather dinner. It's great topped with fresh tomatoes or served along with a side salad. And as per usual, I really hope you enjoyed this dish. If you give it a try, let me know what you think. And as always, figuratively, metaphorically, abstractly, let's eat together.